at 7% versus 2%. If you're buying a 550 and you can get 15 grand closing cost help, you know, the money out of pocket that you're going to be spending is definitely going to be less than if you don't even get no closing cost help.
If it's the right thing for you, and they're chasing interest rates, I'm like, you can't really chase an interest rate.
Yeah.
If the credit's below 600, I mean, it's just,
sure,
you got to compromise.
Right.
So success means different things to different people.
PG County, I don't think they didn't allow pop quizzes.
Because in that one classroom that you didn't leave all day except for lunch.
Wow.
They didn't have none of that.
No, they actually brought lunch to the class. Listen. Hey, it's like this.
You gotta have some good editing.
I ain't editing that. That's staying in. Welcome to the Real Estate Wire, folks. Welcome to the Real Estate Wire, folks. My name is Dan the Realtor.
What up, y'all? Mortgage Coach Marcus here.
And today we're going to be talking about the top 2 headlines. We're going to do the real estate hot or not, and then we're going to jump into the comment section. So let's get straight into it. First, how you doing, Marcus?
I'm so glad you asked me about it. Sometimes people don't care. Sometimes people call you and be like, just jump right into what they want to know about.
Hey, by the way,
don't say hello or nothing. You're like, how you doing?
Oh, also, y'all, thank you so much for all the love that we've been getting so far.
Yeah, for sure.
On the Real Estate Wire, man. We really appreciate y'all. Also, we're going to Marcus is going to settle up on the bet from the last podcast for all of our friends, fans that was listening. So let's get straight into.
You're my beardly superior, even though your knees are ashy today. You're still my beardly superior.
We wasn't recording. How you go? First of all, my knees not ashy. They light skinned. my knees is light skinned. But you did say I'm your beard. I wasn't listening when you said.
I lost the bet, y'all. So Dan was right about. He wasn't right, but I'm gonna let him think that he was right. So whatever. Dan,
I'll take what I could get.
Daniel Wheeler is my beardly superior.
That felt better than I thought it would. We need to do some more bets, brother.
Oh, we got one. I told you.
What?
So the bet today is that, and I need y'all. And no. We do
a bet. You have to shake on a bet. I'll shake on that. I don't care.
All right. So I posted.
Let it be known.
I posted a video.
Dan does not run from bets. Let's go.
I posted a video to Facebook that I need 50 of y'all to tune in, like, subscribe, share, leave a review on the Real Estate Wire on our podcast. Wherever you listen to podcasts, if we can get 50 of y'all to do it, Dan's going to hit 25 push-ups.
I'll do 25 push-ups because I do that easy.
All right, 25 push-ups.
Why you said it so low is the question.
Make it out of yourself.
No, 25 is good. That's good.
For every subscriber, we can get Dan to do 2 push-ups. So bring them on in, y'all. But
we're going to stick with that 25.
All right.
Let's get to the top real estate headlines.
You want to talk money? You want to talk sticks and bricks?
Well, the NAR, actually, the National Association of Realtors, just posted a headline, article this week that I thought was pretty cool. So, So the National Association of Realtors chief economist, Lawrence Yun, Google Lawrence Yun, Y-U-N. He's the chief economist for the National Association of Realtors. And basically, let me read the article for y'all. The NAR's Lawrence Yun predicts that U.S. home prices will not experience a major decline and could actually possibly have a slight rise in prices in 2023 even if the mortgage rates stick at 7%.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people are thinking, oh, well, eventually the price is going to drop. So he goes through the article, which I thought was very, very interesting. And he cites a few things. One, he says, it doesn't look like we're going to have a decline because a lot of the inventory, and I think we talked about this on a podcast prior, a lot of the inventory that a lot of people think is coming is not really coming. We're actually at about a historic low when it comes to foreclosures.
Yeah.
And usually when we get a bunch of foreclosures, that's when we get a dump of inventory.
Right.
And again, inventory for us in the cheap seats is the amount of houses that are available at any given time that are for sale. So the amount of houses that are actively for sale right now, we call that inventory. And right now, I think we're only at not quote the number, but I think it was like 84,000 or something like that nationally. Where at the height, to put that in perspective, at the height of the Great Recession, we was at like 2 million foreclosures that hit the market and kind of tanked everything because there was so many homes available. And so that's one thing that he's citing. in this article. And another reason that he's citing, it doesn't look like home prices are going to drop, is because the amount of short sales. We're not having a whole bunch of short sales that are happening right now because a lot of people got equity in their properties already.
Well, I'm glad you brought that up because Lawrence Young, the chief economist, I think he knows what he's talking about, right?
I hope so.
I hope so.
I mean, he's trying biased because he is with the National Association of Realtors, so play devil's advocate. But I think overall, he ain't really got no reason to lie. Like, numbers don't really lie,
Right. So it's funny that you said it because there's a lot of pages that I follow, real estate, related, and they're talking about short sales and foreclosures are going to be coming back, and probably in mass amounts. And here's the reason why this lady said it. I think she's a realtor in New York or somewhere in like the New England area, like Connecticut, Massachusetts, whatever,
where the rich people live.
And what she said was,
not us.
If you think about it, listen, our area median income is nice.
No, I was just talking about specifically like me and you.
Me and you? Oh, okay.
No, down here we're caking, but we regular.
But you brought it all the way to the chest.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, you made that thing real personal.
Yeah.
You sound like you feeling kind of way about that.
I'm feeling a little bit.
Okay. But anyway, back to what I was saying, not to make a long story long. But so this lady said that if you think back to like 2020, and 2019,
right,
there were a lot of people who were struggling on their mortgages anyway. COVID hit, they had the forbearance agreement.
Right.
So the people that were already behind their mortgages entered into the forbearance agreement, and they maybe had 3 to 9 months worth of not having to pay their mortgage.
Oh, sure.
Right. So when you have those people that had 3 to 9 months of not having to pay their mortgage, then now that relief is over with.
Right.
Some companies, and I've seen it firsthand, some companies said this entire amount that we put on the back end is due.
Yep.
Right. Some people said, okay, let's just get you back on the regular monthly payment schedule. But those people that cannot get back on schedule right now, they were already behind. Right?
Yeah.
They're already behind. Then you don't pay your mortgage for a while. Now they still haven't paid. Now they're already in the red. So I don't know how much there is to it.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. I think numerically, when like you put an article like this in perspective, I think he's dealing with the mass perception of the market right now, which is recession equals price drops, which we all know, and I think I've shared this on my Instagram or somewhere. Recession, the last 6 recessions we had, the prices only went down twice.
Yeah.
That was in like 2001, and then obviously the Great Recession of 2008. Yeah. Every other 4 of those, is my math right? 6 minus 2, carry the 1, is 4, and the prices went up.
Yeah.
So the jury's still out because we have had an extended days on market. I think we've had increase from, I think, like 3 or 4 days on market to an average of 15 days on market now. Yeah. So, I know we real estate agents and y'all say, oh, y'all realtors just trying to make it look pie in the sky. No, we are having an increase in days on market. But when you put it in perspective, if you subtract the last 2 years out, because the last 2 years were an anomaly. I think you said it the other day. You said the last podcast, you said something like the Haley's Comet or something like that, right? Mm-hmm. Which is actually every 7 years or 17 years or 15 years or something like that. Anyway.
75? No, what was the one that's 75?
Is it 75? We stupid. Anyway, the point being,
I can't.
I feel like you should know that.
I'm about to ask.
Ask the Google machine.
Google machine. You sound like grandfather.
Ask the Google. But anyway, the point being, if you subtract out those last 2 years, the days on market is about at par with where we were before the pandemic, when we had just a regular normal market, 2017, 18, 19 leading up to this time. This article puts that into perspective and basically says, coming out of the last 2 years, which most people don't really remember, we were at about, 15, 20, even 45 days on market was average. And when you put your property on the market, you're going to tell your homeowners, like, hey, guys, we're going to be on the market for about 30 days.
Yeah. But I'm glad that we're back to a market where you can have a home that's listed.
Bruh, yeah.
And it sits for a couple of weeks.
Right.
And you get some traction, you get some traffic and whatnot.
Yeah.
But, a year ago, less than that, you couldn't put the house on the market fast enough.
You couldn't get back home fast enough to write the offer.
Right.
And I think a lot of buyers was really frustrated in that, and they kind of sat out and was like, oh, I'm gonna wait.
Yeah.
And then they get a double whammy now, like, oh man, But I think, and I know you can speak to this. Like if you're looking to buy something, man, it's not that bad because long story short, think about it this way. Let's say you want to buy a $550,000 house last year,
Mm-hmm.
you would have paid $675 for that 550, easy, easy. So you just paid
Easy.
what? 50 plus 50, 150. So what? A buck's 25 over, $125,000 over list price just to get into a $550,000 house. But now, if you look at it, and you say, "Yo, I want to buy a $550,000 house." Maybe you get that $550,000 house, and I don't know the math on this, but at 7% versus 2%, if you're buying a 550 and you can get 15 grand closing costs help. The money out of pocket that you're going to be spending is definitely going to be less than if you don't even get no closing costs help, and you got to go $150,000 over the list price. Yeah, you got it at 2%, so that's dope. But you're out of pocket. You kind of jive like break even. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. If you could get the property cheaper, even with the higher rate, it's a better deal. Now, you have to match the numbers,
Right. I
It's
mean,
not, it's not every transaction is the same.
right. And I think the
but
term "better deal," like that's a tough one to say. What's better for your pocket?
so I was going to say, what constitutes better?
Right.
It's almost like what does success mean?
Right.
It means different things to different people, right?
Right. So you can get in $150,000 over, but at 2%, or you can get in at list price and get 3% back in closing at a higher rate.
Do that 2-1 buy down, and
You do the 2-1 buy down and chill and hope. I mean, you got to hope that it go down, but ideally you can refi.
You still know the worst case scenario with
The worst case, as long as you can handle the worst case scenario, which you wouldn't even get qualified if you couldn't handle the worst case scenario.
I will make sure that that's clear. Like, hey, this ain't the right move. I talked to a client just this morning, and need some credit repair, which is not a problem, but looking to rent at $5,200 a month.
Rent for $5,200?
It's gonna be
Where?
Gonna be split three. I don't know, but it's gonna be split 3 ways between.
I wish I was that landlord.
Her and something.
Yeah, go ahead sign that lease.
But I'm like, that's mortgage money.
Mhm.
So in this market, the proper home for them, the three of them in a property, you can get it less than list price.
Right.
You get some money from the seller towards your closing costs, and they're looking for down payment assistance, all that.
Yeah.
So I was like, if it's the right thing, if it's the right thing for you, and they're chasing interest rates, I'm like, you can't really chase an interest rate.
Yeah.
If the credit's below 600, I mean, it's just
Sure.
you got to compromise.
Right.
So success means different things to different people. The right deal is the right deal to different people, because at the end of the day, it's got to make sense, from a dollar standpoint.
Yep.
And just so you know, Haley's Comet does come around every 76 years.
76 years?
Yeah.
We should have
Looks
bet
like
on
it
that.
take- Looks like it's going to come back in 2061. We got a 76-year journey around the sun. Okay. Google.
I'm glad I know that.
Google teaching a little bit this morning.
So let's get to the next real estate headline. This is going to be a mortgage headline. What you got, Coach
All right.
Marcus?
So I posted a video yesterday in reference to the mortgage rates dropping. So as y'all know about earlier, now it's December. So this November 10th, rates were hanging in the low 7% range. And I'll just give you a number, let's say 7.1. Overnight, when the CPI index, we talked about that last time, when the
Right.
CPI index, when they gave their report, they thought the number was going to be higher. It actually came in lower. So
Right.
the market, responded, and the mortgage rates changed, and they dropped by a whole point.
Mhm.
So things were at like 6.1. Well, over time, over the last few weeks, rates crept back up into the mid sixes. Well, yesterday, there was a speech from the Fed Chair Powell, and basically it was a stronger than expected bond buying.
Mhm.
So what happened was the rates dropped again. The market is sitting about like 6.2, 6.3 right now.
So explain the bond buying. What's that for us in the cheap seats? For us in the bleachers up top.
So I'm trying to think how I can make it make sense to the cheap seats. So we're talking secondary market. So we're talking about your loans and mortgages. Different types of mortgages are put into bundles, right? They're packaged up. And then you have other entities that want to grab these mortgages, and it's basically goods to be sold, and they buy them at certain prices so that they can make money off of the interest on these loans.
So, okay, go ahead.
So the ups and downs of that, it's basically buying goods and services on the secondary market.
What's the secondary market?
Let's just kind of think about Wall Street, right? So
Okay.
stocks and bonds, mutual funds, that type of thing. If you think of it in that mindset, and in school, I probably could have been like a 3.7, 3.6 GPA type of student.
But you couldn't read, and so that kind of slows everything down.
But I think I finished with like a 2.7,
You
2.8.
didn't finish with no 2.
No, I
nothing.
think I did.
He was in a 1 point. I'll call your wife. Where your wife? I'll call your
My
wife.
college GPA was 0.99.
Did you finish college?
No.
Neither did I.
That's why Kanye's College Dropout was right down my alley.
Yeah.
But one of the things I hated in school was pop quizzes. So I'm in my feelings right now because you give me pop quiz because this one
I never got pop quizzes.
Because
PG County, I don't think they did. I think they didn't allow pop quizzes.
Because in that one classroom that you didn't leave all day except for lunch.
Wow.
They didn't have none of them.
No, they actually brought lunch to the class. We didn't leave.
And these questions wasn't on the sheet. You need to stay on the sheet.
Yeah, because you Coach Marcus. You told me any question about real estate. I guarantee you, I'll be able to answer it. I guarantee. I'm sold out on this business.
All right.
You want to bet? You want to bet? You want to take my hand?
Hey, bet nothing.
If you're gonna put the Billy, I'm gonna come up with another joke. What?
Anyway.
Oh, okay. I thought you about to show your unit.
But whatever. Unvelcro yours.
For the
Velcro behind the ears.
For the real estate wire squad. Should I talk? So Coach Marcus, this is all serious. Coach Marcus called me the other day. He was like, "Yo, my unit, I'm gonna be a little bit late because I gotta buy a new unit for y'all."
Stop lying.
For y'all that don't know what a unit is, it's like a fake, it's like a toupee. It's like a modern toupee. He got all different types. He got like the wavy joints. He got like the slick back. He got the curly unit. And they like take this like, what do they call it? Scalp adhesive?
I don't know, but
they glue it to his scalp.
Lying right now.
They glue it to his scalp, and then he get it like shaped up and stuff like that. So
that's a whole nother conversation. We can put that in the hot or not because the man units, man,
son, the man units be killing, dog.
The world we live in is so fake.
They got the beard unit, the man, but I'm like this. Hey, who cares? Because women been wearing units for forever. They wear units. Correct. It's called a weave.
And a wig and
let them do it.
Ain't cool.
You want to glue that joint to your bald scalp? Go for it, brother. I you like it, I love it.
Listen, there's sometimes it don't make sense though. The transition, from the top piece to the side, like
you gotta get a good barber.
You can't be silky on top and taco on the side.
No, yours looks good. Where do you get yours done at?
Don't do it.
Where?
Anyway, I'm trying to finish telling you about these daggone rates. So the point of all of this is that not every lender has moved their rates to respond with what happened yesterday. So you got to still talk to your lender.
Yeah, what's up with that? Like they was talking about the gap between the government, the amount that the government's charging lenders and the amount that lenders are charging isn't reducing, even though they're charging lenders less.
Oh.
Does that go back to the margins like what we were talking about last time?
Yeah, it's you're either in business to make money or you in business to be a volunteer or nonprofit, right? Like, and none of these companies are in business to just be volunteers and be nonprofit industry. So they've got to make their money, and that's where you see lenders squeezing their margins and changing comp plans and things like that.
Wow.
Because they can't afford to pay out as much. You can't pay the same amount if you don't have the volume coming in, and the volume is down. So
okay.
So they say, okay, well, if we're making less money at this higher level, then you got to take less money at this level, right? And it's like,
it's cold.
It's a cold-blooded world.
It's a cold world out here, y'all.
I'm not with it.
It's a cold world. I mean, and that's why
I'm not working any less hard.
Right.
Matter of fact, you're probably working harder.
Right. What would you say? Can you grow up?
Yeah, I know. Can you grow up?
You need to grow up. Everything's not a joke all the time, Coach Marcus.
But you know, I'm still out here working as hard or even harder to make sure that I'm getting deals in the door. And then contractually, sometimes these deals, like as soon as you open up the box, you're like, wait a minute, I got them under exclusive buyer agreement or listing agreement, and the things that you find in the house after doing an inspection is not what they told you from the
Right.
very beginning.
Right.
So
Right.
it's like, the story always develops as you go on. So the long story made even longer, because Dan kept interrupting, is that
Speak of facts.
not every lender has responded to these rate changes. Talk to your lender. Call your boy, because I should be the only lender that you really touching and talking to, Paul, that you talking to, and let's figure out what your real interest rates are and your scenario looks like.
Let's get to the real estate hot or not.
I didn't make you pause.
So that joint's tight. So real estate hot or not? I got a couple for you. One, what do you think? What's your take on closing gifts? As far as from a lender point of view, because y'all be slacking on the gifts. But when you close with Coach Marcus, he comes with a closing gift every time. It's nice. What's your take?
So I do like them, right? I do like giving them. My thing is, just like we talked about with the swag, is to give something of value that someone can use. Now, I'm in the process, shameless plug, of redoing some of my merch so that I can, provide gifts at closing and different types of different types of gifts at closing.
Message.
But like, if you close in the wintertime, a Scully is fine. Like if I've got a scarf, something like that. I like giving people things that they can wear.
They can use.
Right. They can
right.
Because honestly, I'm actually trying to give you something that I would use. Right. Because we all know what's some garbage and what's not.
Right.
So
like the little champagne flute.
Now those can actually be used because
that's my hot or not. Them joints is not. Try not to cuss.
So,
but we should say explicit though. Them bitches is whack. I don't mess with the champagne because how often you'll use a champagne flute?
Yeah.
Once.
Yeah.
Not never.
Probably. Yeah.
And then they're gonna sit up in your cabinet.
Yeah.
But people be doing that. They be giving champagne flutes.
So real estate. Lending closing gifts coming from the lender. It can be hot, but it's got to be something that can be used. And like for instance, like I'm always trying to give a card. I'm always trying to give. I got some stickers, some holographic stickers and things like that you can put on the back of your laptop or whatever, give to your kids.
Oh, that's
thank you card, handwritten thank you card. I'll come with a bottle of, at minimum, I'll show it with the sparkling. Oh,
the Martinellis? You be giving out the Martinellis?
Listen, that
two Martinellis, please.
Yeah, straight up. So I try to give that.
That was an inside joke for y'all. Y'all don't know that movie. Y'all don't know that series. You ever seen the Master of None series with Aziz Ansari?
No, sir.
Dude, check that and check.
What is it on?
It's on the Netflix.
All right.
I added the to anything on the Spotify, on the Apple, on the Netflix.
You rolling like somebody's granddaddy today.
I'm ready. I mean, my son only one, but he about to be ready.
Oh.
He a G. He be having the ladies. I be like, ladies, back up. Let the man learn how to walk first.
Good hair.
He got that good hair.
Yeah,
he got the slick back.
You got it right.
That Joe's silky. He got the silk. Shorties be coming around for days trying to get that man silk.
Grown men be jealous of that man bun.
I be like, yo, back up on my man bun. He only one. So my real estate hot or not, honestly, I think that my real estate hot or not, again, is it was closing gifts.
Yeah.
But it was also I don't remember my real estate hot or not. But on the real estate side, as far as gifts, I'm kind of like in your vibe with giving stuff that like people can use, people that stuff that they can support. But I'm not big on giving gift, and I'm not going to tell y'all what the gift that I give all my clients is. You'll have to become
a client.
When you close with Dan, the closing gift comes with a box, and there's some cool stuff in the box. You can talk to some of my past clients about it. But I like throwing. It's not necessarily like branded, like, oh, Dan the Realtor, you got to walk around with a Dan the Realtor real estate shirt on. Because I want people to, actually be able to use it and wear it and sport the joint around. And every single time I do, my clients, like, they take a picture of the joint and they be like, yo, look, I'm wearing it. Because it's not branded to me. It's a black-owned company that I use because I try to stick with the black-owned joints. And they love a closing gift, but I believe it's in my belief that
connect me with them.
Yeah, I will. I'll send you the link. I believe that if you're investing in me and you're saying, Dan, I know you, like you, trust you, and I trust that you can actually get me into a house. One of the biggest investments that most people will make in their lifetime.
Yeah.
I can drop a couple hundred on a nice gift. I can drop a couple. It ain't gonna be 10,000. I'm gonna drop a couple. It's gonna be a nice quality gift that's gonna last. And you go, yo, I really appreciate that. I mean, I'm giving you all this. You can give me. So that's how I feel. Like I feel like I'm gonna bring you a nice closing gift. That's not gonna be like some cheap little keychain trinket. You know what I mean? Like that to me is just like weak. It's like you making money. You're a real estate agent. You making money. Like give him a gift. We're gonna pop the Moet. Is it Moet or Moet or is it Moet?
No,
Moet.
I don't drink it.
Oh, you don't drink it? It's overrated.
I think the rappers and whoever else.
Yeah, but
it's champagne, right?
Yeah, it's a champagne.
Everybody I've heard talk about it. I think I might have tasted it once, but I don't remember it. But I think they said it was nasty.
I mean, it's an acquired taste, I guess.
And Dom Perignon.
And what's the other one? The Ace of Spades. I'm not a big champagne guy, but for celebratory events, it's fun to have. You show up with the Moet, everybody. It's fun. Yeah. For an occasion, I drink bourbon, so for an occasion, you pop this champagne.
It's probably Moet because champagne is a French.
Yeah,
it's French, right?
Only thing I know about French is French fries.
Okay.
Thank you, Real Estate Wire Squad. I'll be here all evening. Good night. I got some sound effects. You can't hear it. I'm gonna add some sound effects in on this part right here. So let's get to the comment section. So one of the comments that I got was about 4 units. So it says, Dan, how do I get a 4 unit with 3% down? Because I posted that on my Instagram. Okay. I mean, not my Instagram, my TikTok. I'm on TikTok, by the way. So basically, this is the way it works. To buy a 4 unit building, because we were talking about 8 units, how to get 8 units, and so they were like, how do I'm trying to get 4. So, as a first-time home buyer, the Federal Housing Administration allows you to buy up to 4 units, a 4-unit building. Now, anything above 4 units is considered commercial. Anything below 4 units, 4, 3, 2, or 1, is actually considered residential. Yeah. And because you're a first-time home buyer, you're qualified to buy a 4-unit building. You live in one of the units and you rent the other 3 out. Now, the reason you're able to, how you do that, the lender will the lender will actually be able to qualify you based on 75% of the total rents of that building. But how if it's not rented out yet? They can use the estimated rents from that building if the building is vacant and qualify that income towards your income. So for easy math for Marcus, because he's not good at math. Let's say each of the 3 units, the one that you're not living in, each of the 3 units rents out for $1,000. Well, 3 times 75% ends up being about what, 2,100.
Don't look at me. Don't look at me. You fly right now.
Yeah. So, well, $3,000 will be the total amount of risk, and they can count 75% of that, which ends up being like $2,175 and some change. So that $2,175 per month times 12 ends up being about $2,400 per $24,000 rather per year that they can add to your yearly income. So if you're making $50,000 a year and you want to buy a 4-unit building, they can count 75% of the total rents of those other 3 units and add that $24,000 to your $50,000, and so you would qualify based on about $75,000 per year because you're buying a 4-unit building. Now, how do you do 3% down? Well, the FHA allows you to buy the building with 3% down. So 3.5% down. Thank you, sir. That 0.5 is actually very, very important. So 3.5% down. Now, if you're me, or if I was you in your situation, you actually want to go 3% above the asking price and then ask for that 3% closing cost help as a closing cost credit towards your closing cost. So if you get into a program or something, let's not even worry about the program. Let's just say you're going to save up 3.5% to use as your down payment. You're going to get that 3% above asking price that you offered the seller and say, hey, I'm going to give you 3% above, and then I'm going to need 3% closing cost credit on the back end to help me with some closing costs and things like that. And then you take that 3% and you put it towards your closing costs, and you buy a 4-unit building with 3% down. That the rents from the other units will qualify towards your yearly income.
So let me ask you, who taught you that?
I mean, I learned that from one of my OGs, man. One of my OGs, he's got a whole bunch of buildings, man, and he got buildings to spare. And he told me about that a long time ago. And when I first got into real estate, I was like, yo, that's going to be my first purchase. And I always advise, like, if you can swing it, your first purchase, I would always say, man, buy a 4-unit building.
So, I think I've told the story about the condo that I purchased when I came out of college. If I'd have known to buy a 4-unit property at the age of 21 instead of buying a 1-unit, like a
Dude,
1-bedroom, 1-bath condo,
yeah,
and then how life went after that, I don't know if I'd have been able to manage it. All the other 3 units.
Sure.
But just from the perspective of having a 4-unit property, living in one, renting out the other 3, even when I was, trying to sell the one that I was living in, right? Like, I mean, things would be so much different, potentially. So,
potentially.
So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make sure that because house hacking, when you do that, because you can buy a 4-unit property and then go 4, 3, 2, 1, right?
Right. So, or you can go 4, 4, 4, 4.
Listen, now is this area, this market? Tell me about and tell them about whether or not there's a lot of multi-family properties or multi-unit properties in it. In what areas do you see that happening most?
Here's the thing, man. We gotta start using group economics, man. Because
what's group economics?
I mean, look, a lot of y'all folks, y'all parents, man, they got good government jobs, man. They making money.
Okay.
Get your mama and get your pops to co-sign for you, man. Now, everybody, I know y'all gonna DM me. Everybody ain't in that position, Dan. Okay, cool, that's fine. You're not obligated to do it. But if you can do it, hit your folks up and be like, hey, look, Mom, this is what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to establish, especially if you got a kid or you ain't got no kids, you want to have kids. Like, look, Mom, I'm trying to establish some generational wealth for my family. I want to get this building first. They're going to probably not understand it. They'll be like, what? Why don't you just get you a house? But break down those numbers. You send them this podcast. Break down those numbers to them and let them know, like, yo, this is my plan. This is what I'm planning to do.
Mm-hmm.
When you get like a cosigner, your mom or a great uncle or an aunt or somebody that's in your family, they can co-sign on that loan for you and boost your yearly income. Now, they're not going to be able to help you credit-wise, but they will be able to help you income-wise because in DC, that's where we mostly got 4-unit buildings, to answer your question. There's a lot in Baltimore as well. But Baltimore, Baltimore job like block by block. You know what I'm saying?
What I noticed is when you first said Baltimore, you put the T in there. But after you initially said Baltimore, that T became a D.
Oh, yeah. Well, Baltimore and Baltimore is two different places. 2 different planets. 2 different countries. You have Baltimore, which is, the harbor, Green Street, and
Baltimore.
Baltimore is like, you know what I'm saying? What's that? Blair. You know what I'm saying?
Don't get me lying.
Oh, yeah, Pratt Street. That's Baltimore. But, I mean, there's some nice joints up in Baltimore. There's a fly. There's a fly. I just killed it. Look at your boy. I didn't show his dead carcass. I just killed a fly here on the real estate squad. But yeah, I mean, they got a lot of joints in Baltimore, and then we actually got some listeners over in Europe. We got listeners in South Asia. So I don't know how it works over there, y'all, but over here in America, we got there's a lot of different 4-unit buildings that are available in DC specifically. Your purchase price probably going to be somewhere the 5s, 6s,
really
7s, and the 8s. So you're gonna need to come off at least like 25 bands, like minimum.
So that's a good transition because a few of my clients, some of the guys that we've spoken to recently, looking for multifamily properties, looking for 3 or 4 units, first time buyers, right? And because this message is actually being shared amongst the public, that you can go into a 4-unit property and rent, occupy one, rent out the other 3. But these first-time buyers may not be making enough money to be able to afford the $500,000 and $600,000 property, right?
Right.
So then that becomes a little bit of steam let out of their their momentum,
Sure,
right?
sure.
So but that's where the co-borrower comes in. That's where you're talking about pool your resources, because reality is if you're going to live in a place and you can't do it by yourself, then there's somebody else that you might know that can help you qualify for that $500,000 to $600,000 property, because it is going to cash flow.
Yeah, and that's that group. That's that group economics.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
get your mama, get papa, maybe even get your gammy or whatever. You know what I'm saying? And just say, hey, co-sign for me for a little bit until I'll refi this joint out. I'll refi you off the loan.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
That's what our folks is here for, man. They're here to boost us up on their shoulders.
And I think there's been so much that I've witnessed over time of a lot of individualistic mindsets instead of
We was raised that way, man.
Right.
Like the black
Working
community.
together.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
scared to, but like we got that's the next evolution for us.
We've got to work together. I mean, and it's not, and yes, it's certainly in the African American community, but it's within all communities, because from what I see and what you see, just how certain cultural groups, they work together. Like,
Yep.
And it's a foregone conclusion. Like,
Right.
they come into it knowing that they're going to be working together to do something.
Right.
I've experienced a lot where, got to do it on my own, get it on my own.
Yeah. Me
People,
too.
they celebrate, quote unquote, getting it out of the mud. And I'm like, okay, that's cool, but you can do a lot more when you have other people with you. I mean, there's a statement that says many hands make light work.
Yep.
And I wholeheartedly believe that. So no man is an island. You can say
Yeah,
all the
you can
things
go
that-
fast by yourself, but you can go further with a team.
straight up. I mean, so like if you got somebody in your corner that you know, like, and trust, because you got to have those three elements in order for somebody to dig in their pocket.
Yeah,
right?
of course.
Or for someone to be willing to go into their pocket.
Mm-hmm.
You got to work together, man, to make this thing happen, because it's a long-term play. It's not something quick
Right,
and fast.
right, Right.
And even if you're trying to go quick and fast, you try to do short-term flips or something like that.
Sure.
You could do it a lot better and a lot easier
With a team.
with a team.
With a squad. Hey, I noticed you got the Jordans on those.
I stay fresh, bro. I'm OG in this game. I'm Foot Locker alumni, bro.
And then you got the Friday the Ice Cube shirt. If y'all not watching, for y'all watching on YouTube, my man got the Ice Cube with the beard and the West Side Bato t-shirt on.
You know what? I
What's going on,
I
home?
knew you were gonna play that.
And
You like,
Bato
man,
home.
you like, hey, butt at the top and let the rest fly.
Got the Chicano joint,
Yeah.
huh? You looking fly, man. I like it.
Listen,
I like it. I'm not stepping on your turf. Am I
I'm
wearing
a
the right
sneakerhead-
color?
I'm a sneakerhead OG, bro. I ain't-
For y'all that didn't follow my Facebook, I grew up very, very religious in a very religious household. So I did not grow up watching a bunch of black movies. But recently, I got hip to Friday, which I learned actually is not Fridays.
Yeah,
It's actually Friday.
I had to correct you. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I thought it was actually I thought it was a movie about the restaurant Fridays, but then I realized it's.
Man,
I thought it was like a documentary about Fridays, the restaurant.
there's a few Friday movies. There's
several.
There's
Actually,
three.
funny enough,
You
I
saw
saw
three?
next Friday before I saw the first Friday, regular Friday.
Sure.
Yeah, but when I
You
saw
see Friday after
Friday,
next.
I did see Friday after next. Yeah, I get the jokes now. Like,
Okay.
oh, yeah, I never saw a lot of like black movies beyond before the year 2000. The year 2000 was when I like broke free of my mom. I was like, I'm watching all these. So anything after like that Love and Basketball era, I saw all of those. I saw The Wood. So everybody was coming at me on my
Best
Facebook.
Man.
I saw The Best Man. I'm hip to all of them joints.
Mm.
Any of all the so even saw Soul Plane. I was like the one person that saw Soul
I'm
Plane.
about to say you could have left that off the list.
Man, it was Kevin Hart. I had to watch it. It was Kevin Hart. Everybody think I look like Kevin Hart. I'm watching.
You know, one of the first places I saw Kevin Hart and like was this is before the. I think I saw him do some random stand up stuff. But this is a movie called Fool's Gold. It's got
I never seen
what's Goldie Hawn's daughter's name?
Oh yeah, Shorty.
And Matthew McConaughey. I think I'm pretty sure it's her.
Oh
Matthew
yeah.
McConaughey's in it.
Yeah, I forgot her name.
And then Kevin Hart is kind of like one of the villains in.
Oh really?
And one of his flunky type of, the villain always got some flunky dudes under.
Yeah.
What's his name? Brian Hooks.
Got me on that one, brother.
And if I gotta find a picture of him, but like he's
Look
in
on the Google machine.
he's in a lot of like lower budget movies,
Low budget.
but he's funny.
He probably
man.
making bread though.
Yeah,
No
he's
budget.
funny. I mean, you can look.
Brian Hooks is his name. Let me see
Yeah,
him.
yeah, that's him.
A. Oh yeah. He's funny. He played in I forgot what that movie was. Yeah, he's always like he's black actor number 2 in every movie.
Yeah,
He's like black man number 3.
all of his movies,
Him and what's his name? D-Ray.
right?
They always black man number 3.
All of his movies, the cover art on his movies,
Mhm.
they always make you feel like it's a Master P album. You know what I'm talking about?
Right.
You know, Master P and No Limit and all those.
I do
like,
know them.
their
I
album
do. I
covers.
know them, y'all.
I'm like,
Don't come for me.
y'all had somebody local take these pictures and do your graphic design.
Somebody uncle.
Yeah, like that had no idea what was going on.
So I'm hip. I'm hip to all. I saw Poetic Justice a couple last weekend. I saw and I saw Don't Be a Menace for the first time.
Really?
Yeah, pretty good.
Don't Be a Menace is pretty good.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
No.
It was kind of goofy at the end.
Oh.
No, not Don't Be a Menace while drinking your gin and juice in the hood. I know that
You're
one.
talking about Menace to Society.
See, I'm trying to get hip, y'all. What's it called? Don't Be a Menace. It's called Be a Menace.
Don't Be a Menace.
Don't be.
Wayans Brothers.
What's it called?
Menace
Don't Be a Menace.
Menace to Society is
Don't. What's it
Kane
called?
and O-Dog and all them.
Right. I saw Menace to Society.
Don't Be a Menace is the Wayans brothers.
Oh,
You know, like
I saw Menace
play
to,
on that.
and I understand he definitely was a menace to society, but ironically, the actual menace to society didn't even die. Like that's cold. Lorenz Tate. Shout out to Lorenz Tate.
Okay, let me ask you: have you seen House Party?
Nope.
Oh my gosh!
I put it on my. I can guarantee you. Okay, so here's one thing that I heard consistently as a child. All right, so I'll say a movie. Say a movie. Say any movie. Any movie. Any black movie.
Color Purple.
I saw Color Purple. Give me another one.
Okay, Glory.
You never seen Glory? That's how they say it. Everybody always say it. Glory? And then they say it like several times as if I'm going to be like, oh, you said Glory. Oh, my bad. They go, Glory. No. Denzel Washington? No. Glory? No. I've never seen it. You never seen, yo, you not blood. And I'm like, well, I'm looking at my skin. I'm still black. I got this big ass nose. I gotta be something. What am I? If I'm not black, what am I? Like, being black is about watching a movie. We got way more culture than just watching a movie. Now, don't get me wrong. They are important to black culture, and I get it.
Sure.
But when you put it on top of the fact that I grew up very, very, very religious, like, you going to hell if you watch those movies religious. I was like, nah, I'm good. And then when I got older, I was just like, whatever. I don't need to catch up. But as of late, I've just been like, hey, let me sit down and watch these joints and see what they're about.
Y'all want to know how religious Dan grew up?
How religious?
How religious was he? Dan is a drummer.
I am a drummer.
So,
I used to be a drummer. I still am.
No, you still a drummer.
Yeah, I'm pretty
That's
good.
a God-given gift. That's what you need to get back at.
No, you ain't got time, man.
You do have time.
Dude, I was late to the podcast today because I was putting the listing on the market. When do I have time?
You were late because you were spending.
I had to go make copies of keys. Yeah.
That's just the reallocation of your resources. That's just proper.
Look, it's like this. I think, don't be hitting me with your little quotes. Listen. Hey. It's like this.
You gonna have some good editing.
I ain't editing that. That's staying in. That is like this. My nigga gonna be about to die. You might have a heart attack. Look at his old ass. Look, it's like this. I had everybody. We all had lives. During my 20s, I was about smoking weed, growing my dreads, and playing music, and then having little extracurricular activities with different people's daughters. Like it was fine. But like in the Bible, you read the Bible.
Yeah,
when I was a child, I spake as a child. When I grew up, I put away childish things. So I'm like, not to say that drums are childish, but it was a phase of my life. It was fun, and I grew up, and now I'm doing real estate now. And I don't do two things very well. Like I told you, I don't.
I know that.
If I got back into drums now, I would be obsessed over drums.
Okay, I can respect that. So I got one of my boys. And I think I'm kind of like this too. And I think maybe a lot of men are like this.
Yeah.
When you get into a certain thing, especially when you get to a certain age,
right?
Like you begin to like filter out all the things. You're not trying to like learn how to do all the things, right?
Right.
You figured out what you like to do, and there's maybe 2 or 3, 4 things that you like to do, and you'll do that. Like you'll just do that. That's your
right.
thing.
Right.
one of my best friends in the world, like my big brother. Shout out to Roy.
What up, Roy?
Get to my nerves, like
That's the best big brother.
my first bloody nose, like whatever. Like
Oh, yeah.
I was his crash test dummy when he was learning how
Oh,
to
that's real.
be on the wrestling team and all that stuff. Like believe me, like we've had our fights and stuff. But that dude will run through a wall for me, right?
Yep.
But this Joker, if he's fishing, if he's like into fishing, he buying the reels, he's watching the shows, he's trying to get a sponsorship.
Yep.
He buying a boat.
Yep.
If it's hunting,
we on a boat. Man.
Same thing. And all he's talking about, he show up to my house, I cut his hair and whatever. He show up to the house wearing camo. I'm like, he like, when you trying to go sit in the tree? I'm like, bro, like I ain't got time. He like,
sit in a tree
time.
For what?
Sit in the tree and hunt.
Oh no.
So then he's like, because he deer hunts. It's like he wants to do all of it.
Right.
Playing golf. I mean, whatever it is. He's all about. He's all in. So I get it. Like, but I do think as like an outlet, because I don't know what your outlets might be.
My outlets are what I'm doing right now. Y'all on YouTube can see.
But that's what
I smoke cigars.
Oh, okay.
I love a good cigar. I got a batch coming in right now. I got some Undercrowns coming in. I got some.
I know nothing about it.
Long Live the King. This what I'm smoking on right now is called a Don Carlos. You notice I rolled my tongue on that because I'm cultured.
You really not.
A Don Carlos.
You really
Don Carlos.
You need to
Don Carlos.
You need
the wifey.
You need your wife.
Don Carlos.
Get your wife teach you.
Babe, tell me how dope that sound. Don Carlos.
Carlos. I can't really.
It's okay. It's a muscle. You gotta build it, young man.
Oh, ain't but one way.
School
Keep.
That, and we doing a podcast, as you can clearly see. That's what I'm saying. Work to me is like, yo, but imagine if I was sitting here playing drums, like nah, yo. I mean, I got a family I gotta take care of. I ain't got time to be sitting here playing drums. I'm not going on tour with Usher anytime soon. So what am I doing it for?
So that's the thing. Like, my outlets have always been playing ball, lifting weights.
But you don't lift weights no more.
I have not been lifting weights, and
you're in shape. Of a circle.
I'm about to say round oval is a shape. I need to get back at it. You're stupid. But those things are my outlet. But also cooking and grilling and stuff like that. Those are my outlets. We
need to see each other on the grill.
You can't stay in your lane, bro.
Listen.
There's some things. There's some things.
Listen.
To the listeners and the viewers. Listen, we got challenges and bets.
That man's so competitive. I'm telling you this.
There's nothing about me that's not competitive.
But on this, there is no competition. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
That's what I'm saying. Like
there's you on it. All right, we're gonna have a taste test. Real Estate Wire Squad.
Some things
we're gonna have a taste.
JV, bro.
I know. I'm not even on. I'm college. Like I'm not even in that.
Okay, you practice squad.
I'm finna.
I'm finna get to this tournament.
Keep talking. We're gonna have a taste test. We're gonna have a blind taste test. You're going to bring your people. I'm going to bring my squad. And we're going to have a cook-off. We're going to have a real... Hey, what's that from that movie? We're going to have... Oh, that's from Kill Bill. Remember, she's like, we're going to meet in the park.
Remember.
And we're going to have a knife fight.
So you had to laugh by yourself.
That was when Vivica A. Fox was talking to Beatrice, whatever her name was. And she was like, all right, we're going to meet in the park.
This is a post-2000 movie.
Yeah, post-2000. I'm in on the post-2000. That was when I broke free. You never saw Kill Bill?
I've seen it, but Kill Bill?
Tarantino. You never saw Kill Bill?
Kill Bill?
You ain't black.
Tarantino movies be long and they
do be long, pause, but they're good, pause. And I think
good.
They're not confusing. But Kill Bill is not confusing, even to somebody like you. Like you would get it.
I'm saying when I say confusing, sometimes he has that start from the end and then get to the beginning.
That's what's dope.
But I love it.
So have you ever seen you have to have seen Reservoir Dogs?
Yes, I've seen that.
Okay.
I have that. I have that DVD.
Okay.
Okay. You seen Django?
Yeah, I'm not down with slave.
I saw it. Down with Django?
I saw it. I saw it. But I'm tired of slave movies, man. We got so many slave movies.
We actually.
Will Smith just put out a slave movie. Like, why whatever it is, just eat. Come on.
It's emancipation. But look,
why we can't have a black? Anybody listening to this? We need a black superhero movie.
But that was
like movies from Egypt, where it's like different gods from Egypt. Like they have all these different Greek mythology gods, and we need some black Egyptian gods that are like superheroes that's like crushing.
So
That's what we need.
They got Black
Anybody
Adam.
who make movies,
Dwayne
holla at
Johnson, The Rock, he playing Black Adam. Rocky, what is his name? Rocky Johnson?
Dwayne Johnson.
No, his daddy was Rocky.
Oh, was he?
His dad was a pro wrestler.
I don't know. And he became a pro wrestler.
Mm-hmm.
How ironic.
But
Nepotism.
But I think like you're right. I would love to see like something like that.
Yeah,
like
I've been thinking about that for a long time. If anybody write any movies, y'all in the Real Estate Wire squad, if y'all got connects, I got ideas.
But that's why the Black Panther has become what it is because like that's our first image of something,
right?
Yeah, of something to
Did
that
you hear
degree.
Did you hear Dr. Umar Blaze Black Panther?
Nah, I haven't seen.
Y'all Google Dr. Umar. I ain't gonna plug him on this show.
Like he don't.
Yeah, he on some, he wouldn't show up to our podcast. Man, them white women eating that swine. Like, sorry, Dr. Umar, I like her. You know, what we do?
While I get by this BLT.
Let me get this BLT. Let me get this BLT real quick, Doc. Where your school at, by the way? Anyway, don't come for me, Dr. Umar. He's supposed to have been built a school.
I don't know nothing about it.
Nobody does.
Let's get off of that.
Hey, thank you so much. Yeah, I don't want Dr. Umar to come. Yeah, we done. We wrapped up, man. We wrapped up. That's the show. We appreciate y'all. Go ahead and like, subscribe, and put a comment at the bottom of this podcast. It really helps boost us in the algorithm and on all platforms. Yeah. We are on all platforms, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, on all of them joints. So like, subscribe, and then most importantly, share this podcast with your friends if you found it enlightening or entertaining or educational at all. We do a little edutainment here, a little education, a little entertainment. We appreciate you guys for coming out.
For sure.
Where can they find you, Coach Marcus?
At Mortgage Coach Marcus on pretty much every social media platform.
Find us on TikTok, Real Estate Wire, the Real Estate Wire on TikTok. We're on TikTok.
Where can they find you? Where can they find you?
They can find me at danwillersaleshomes.com on all platforms, Dan Willer Sells Homes. For all of us here at the Real Estate Wire, all of us here at the Real Estate Wire Squad,
all of us,
we are out.
I'll let you. Peace out.